Hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome back to another second stimulus check and second stimulus package unemployment benefits extension update, and also Happy New Year, because as crazy as it is to think, we have officially started the brand new year. We've survived that crazy epic year that many of us may have even questioned if we were even going to be able to survive in the beginning. But the great news is that we have officially survived. I believe this is the first video of this brand new year, and this video will probably be pretty relevant over the next couple of days. So if you guys have been around, thank you guys so much again for all the support. On another note, if you guys are brand new here, then welcome along. Consider subscribing to join in. If you guys are interested in updates about stimulus checks, unemployment, or anything around that world of government relief, government policy, and ways to get money from the government, especially during such times of economic need. But the news is that in today's update, I want to basically talk a lot more now about the unemployment benefits extension update, sharing you guys a brand new update about it, but also giving you guys now this golden, I guess the answer to this golden question, which is about when we will officially see our unemployment benefits extension deposited, because I do have relative exact dates for a lot of the states. I don't have the exact dates for every single state because some states have not released information yet, but I probably have the most up-to-date information in terms of when we should finally expect to see our unemployment benefits extension boost, specifically the $300 deposited into our bank account, especially because there actually are a lot of states that are actually going to be starting it this week, which is also another reason why I say it's probably going to be a relevant video. We're going to be talking all about that. Now, if you guys do have any questions about unemployment in general, feel free to comment down below, or also consider checking out the previous video that I made, which is, I believe it's called Coming Unemployment, PUA and PUC, which basically just answers almost all of the common questions in the world of unemployment, such as about like the dollar amount, how it works, the different programs, all of the different acronyms and what they basically mean, all the different details about unemployment. But today's update is going to be about the exact arrival / deposit dates as best as we can, because keep in mind only some states have released information, but from what we know so far. So we're going to start this video right away, but before we begin, make sure you smash the like button because it does help to support this channel. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification button for future updates on stimulus checks, unemployment, like all sorts of, as we've mentioned, government relief, stimulus related programs, and also finance topics. And feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about really anything at all. And also, even if you wanted to maybe consider commenting also whether or not you've received your stimulus check or even your unemployment in your state, because I believe that they are actually a few states that are now starting to roll out the unemployment over the next couple of days, which I think is pretty sweet. So with that being said, let's get this video started. So really fast is that when it comes to the stimulus checks, I do believe that most people probably already have gotten their stimulus checks. If you guys have or haven't, maybe feel free to consider commenting your state and whether or not you've received it. I know that I'm personally in New York and I bank with Discover Savings, and I actually recently just got my stimulus, interestingly, this morning, as crazy it is. So I was even one of the later people that got their stimulus checks, but I believe most people should hopefully have gotten it by now. Feel free to comment if you guys have or haven't. Really just anything, any details that you guys have. Now, when it comes to the unemployment benefits extension, I'm just gonna basically use this graph right here that basically should highlight almost all of the different dates that we have available, so I'm not like, you know, running through and reading every single 50 state and you're waiting for your one state to come out while there's like 49 other states that maybe also just, you know, not as relevant. So the dates that you really want to pay attention to is the dates right in the very middle, because it basically shows the arrival dates to get ready for. If there is no date right there, then it probably means that your state hasn't actually released any information about it yet, but hopefully they will. So over the next couple of days, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. So another reason to subscribe. Most of these dates, they're collected as best as possible, and I've actually tried to cross check a lot of the dates with a lot of specific states, so they have been relatively accurate for the most part. There always might be maybe a few states there and there that might be a little bit off, but I figured at the end of the day it's probably better to at least give you guys some idea about when to expect than to just go in totally blindly and then not really have any kind of gauge or clue about when it's going to arrive. I can say almost for certain in New York, and I say specifically because I know a lot of you guys are from New York, including me. I know that Cuomo stated specifically, I think that he's planning to start it actually this week, actually, possibly over the next couple of days, if not possibly by maybe at least the end of this week. And I talked a lot more about that also in the previous video. If you guys have questions, once again, it's the last video from 2020, and I'll put it at the end screen of this video about how it works and all that. Now, if you guys can't see it, because I know some people are watching this through like a very tiny small smartphone screen, feel free to consider commenting if you guys have any, again, questions about this, or really just honestly just anything at all. Especially, as we've mentioned in the past, is that the most official information that we will always have will be from the people that are physically in a particular state than even any news article about that particular state. It's always going to be the most official when you hear from the actual people that are there. Now, if it says pre-implementation or just implementation, then it means that they're really just starting to get rolling for it. If it says processing, then it means that they're starting to send out payments, actually. And then if it says payment pending, then it means that they're starting to send out the payments, and that is probably the stage that you want to be at. That is when basically they're now starting to roll out the payments. So from there, it really is just going to be a matter of waiting. Now, keep in mind is that every single date that you see is also an estimated deposit date, meaning that with the assumption that hopefully everything goes on schedule, because keep in mind most of last year, there have always just been things that have just popped out of the middle of nowhere, with the assumption that everything goes and stays on schedule, with thankfully so far they are, keep in mind that every single one of these dates are starting dates. That basically means that they're starting to roll out the payments on that date, but it may not actually physically hit the bank until a couple days later. So I'd give a couple days from the dates that you see just to, like, you know, for added security. Granted, you know, some states are actually pretty fast, and if you come from a state that's pretty fast, that might actually very much end up being the date that you'll finally officially see the unemployment deposited. This was basically the case with the LWA with FEMA. If you guys have been around here for a while, then you guys probably know about that back in like the August, September when we had the FEMA LWA. There's always going to be a few states that go through some kind of delay. I believe last time, I think if I remember correctly, like Las Vegas or / Nevada took about maybe like 1 to 2 months until they finally were able to send out their payments. So they actually one of the later months. I remember Las Vegas / Nevada, I think that they basically got their payment about 6 to 8 weeks after most people already got their payment. So there's always going to be a few states that have some delays, hence also why I kind of recommend everyone to kind of comment if you guys have or haven't gotten it in your state. But I think that most of them should hopefully actually be arriving over the next 2 weeks, which I think is the really great news. So hopefully that basically clarifies. I really just wanted to deliver you guys this information about when to expect your payments. For most states though, I believe that it's going to be over the next couple of days, basically something by the end of this week into like maybe the beginning of next week. Of course, again, it varies a lot more from state to state, since some states may just go through delays, you know. Like I know Las Vegas, / Nevada took an extra 6 to 8 weeks for the LWA with FEMA to finally process it. So you never really know. I do think though most states, I know certainly for New York, I think it should be relatively on time. So that is the really great news to share. And that's really what I wanted to kind of cover in today's video. I think in one of the next future videos, we're probably going to be talking a lot more about even more specifics with the unemployment programs, an updated version of the unemployment. So when states actually start sending out their payments to kind of keep up to date and track with everyone. And then also diving into revisiting once again about the stimulus check, specifically the 2,000, because keep in mind is that 2,000 is still very much on the table. But we're going to talk all about that in future videos, so definitely subscribe if you guys are brand new here and hit the bell for future updates. That's what I really wanted to cover. Hopefully if you guys found insight to that, consider smashing the like button because it's always greatly appreciated, and feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about honestly just really anything at all. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well. Happy New Year. Hopefully we can have a better start to this brand new year after most of the experiences of last year. Hopefully we can now move on to brighter days. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.